Hello, Robert John Burton reading another script. It has been my experience over many years that anyone can be a crazy maker. You can make it this as you wish, crazy makers always do. I have given up trying to please people in this seriously mad world. I wish to not hold a grudge. All sorts of neurotics have predominated in the work occupation I have engaged in. My mother was an expert crazy maker. She was good at creating a self-destructive internal dialogue, a never-ending stream of thought mixed up all over the place. She would smile at me while shouting her nonsense at me. She knew I was wrapped up in her guilt trips. However, I learned how to break her heart. I ignored her. I eventually left her for decades to stew in her madness. The cost was no filial contact, a big and small price to pay to try to escape madness. Crazy makers are legion in all shapes and sizes, and their intentions are dependent on whom they are trying to please. Few are free from the pack mentality. Some know they are being manipulative and invasive. Others are too stupid to see their part in the cruel game being played. The worst are the surprise attackers who use a public forum to make insensitive comments. Some have made it part of their psychological resume because they live in such unhealthy situations. Unless you are ready for a seasoned fighter, it becomes easy to feel crazy or foolish. You are caught in chaos, with your life well-being on the line as you watch the manipulation you cannot stop. So-and-so would withdraw her support if I tried to be president of a club I had worked so hard for. Why? Because of something someone who would never be named had said something. Never mind. She was a liar who gossiped at every opportunity. She remained thin in it, spoiled her life. All that expended energy. Another described me as a shark after discovering my possessions had been gone through. No apology. I was insane to be upset and told everyone who would listen. Others attacked me for a reason I had hidden in my genetic makeup. People with Asperger syndrome can say things in a too direct way. We will be misread, and we will be accused of sarcasm when none was meant. We will be the targets of those wanting to prove their power. People will not play fair because it has been encouraged by the outrageous behaviour of our political, religious and media leaders. Crazy makers use tactics and engage in power struggles to feel better about themselves. Sadly, the world is full of them, and you can choose the pie chart numbers of male, female, other to suit yourself. I have given up the stupid game. I do not want to play. Crazy makers cannot empathise. They have selective memories. They are faultless. They are unpredictable as it gives an inconsistent reward. They will hold a grudge but expect you to forget any indiscretions on their part. They would be boring if they were not so harmful. A person giving a scolding while saying, "I love you," or "I understand." Everything is a calamity. Crazy makers expend their energy and yours responding to a life as a disaster. They make victims when none exist. They make villains when none exist. They are only content in chaos. Social clubs, offices and associations are full of crazy makers because they are an event horizon for some cause, a step away from swirling chaos, the perfect meeting places for their existence and their prey. My mother would rant, the list was long, I didn't listen, I didn't open my eyes, I didn't understand simple language, I wasn't kind, I didn't love her, I wasn't grateful, or I was a liar. I was careless, I was stupid, I was too smart for my own good, I was cruel, and once I was a communist. Crazymakers do not like others' opinions. My mother had her opinions and too easily convinced her spawn of crazymakers to counter mine. These people have never met me, so their attacks could appear innocent. Some people are too stupid to have opinions. You are not a young man with curly hair, said one. I knew where that had come from, keeping me a child well into my 40s. You impudent boy, snapped a new business associate when I was 46. Over something she was stressed about, a new exhibition to be a sellout exhibition when she was the cater. Crazy outbursts by incapable people who need your full obedience with mind-reading skills. This woman would attack me for years until I could not work without the heaviness of Sisyphus pushing me backwards. Do not understand? Read some Greek legends. You are not the one, proclaimed the art student, the tenant, the curator, any dill actually over the time for my life. I wonder what I was not the one for. Crazymaker alert. I promise reward withdrawn. I wish they had looked at their reflections in the mirror. No catch there, just confusion. I just thought, many have said, although Crazy Daisy, my mother, was the constant, a reward before the fall, except the rewards were never worthwhile. Crazy Daisy would buy me gifts that were always broken. Seconds, a glass cat with smashed ears, a pen set that leaked, and a book glued together with mildew. You're so clever, so smart, I just know you can fix them, she would nod. No, I did not. More pleasing to her was things I did for myself. Growing a bed of delphiniums that were spectacular, meter plus spikes of blooms in purple, white and blue. This glory was enough to allow Crazy Daisy the opportunity to do what she did well, the opportunity to outshine. The glorious dragon is here, with much huffing of hot air and a coach load of a new art group to stare at what? The flowers I had cultivated? Me? It was extraordinary. It was always beginning with, I just thought you would like. It was a mantra. It was a spell. It was bloody annoying and intrusive. It was Crazy Daisy needing attention, all the attention, and she would use me again and again. When I was living alone in a tin shed, Crazy Daisy would turn up with a coachload of her cronies to stare at me. I was there to recover as a survivor of violent crime. Think how lucky you were to be stabbed. Otherwise the melanoma we saw would have gotten you. The idiot medical person would chirp. Whether a nurse or a doctor, a professional status does not make people either wise or sensitive. So they suggest people with autism are compulsive and cannot control their desires. The belief that people like me have some type of universal standard is irrational. This idea has created particular problems for autistic folk who wish to participate in the world. Neurotypicals feared us, and the damaging idea that autistic people are constantly lacking feelings, incapable of empathy and compassion. Crazymakers love such drama, born-again bigots pleading for my soul, always finding ugly meaning in beautiful things. With hurt expression, they would march into my exhibitions demanding I make peace with the Crazymakers. But I failed to mind read their good intentions. After all, did not realise they were do-gooders? Frankly, you're a boring lot. Go away, Crazymakers. Keep your unwelcome comments to yourself. This is my life. Thank you for listening.